So about a year ago, I started working on a book called Cupid, Not Stupid. Now, by the name alone, using the word Cupid, if you're not familiar with the term Cupid, Cupid is a cherub type archetype character, mythical character that you've probably seen before. You know, it's a little baby with the bow and arrow and points at people and it hits someone's heart and they fall in love. So it's the symbology of it is, about, falling in love with someone. And the reason why I've called the book Cupid Not Stupid is because I was noticing a lot of women just everywhere. I mean, if you haven't noticed this, you're probably not paying attention, just how done with men women are. And it appears that men are feeling the same way about us. And then we've got all the other stuff with the gender dysphoria and the kids with all the gender stuff. So I started realising there's something really up with gender, with males and females and hormones. Because you think about it, if a child does, and I'm not going to make any judgment, I'm not going to make any commentary on all that stuff, because that's a whole rabbit hole within itself and I'm not going to go there. If your common sense can't do it for you, I'm not here to convince you to have some common sense. So, if they have to use hormone blockers, then there's something to be said for hormones. But the rest of us aren't paying attention to the importance of hormones. And that's when my light bulb went off. And when I say hormones is how it dictates our behaviour, men and women, we're so different. And a lot of women are also noticing they're either in their toxic masculine or they're very much in their feminine, which means they're creating way too much estrogen. And there's a bunch of reasons for it, and I want to list those reasons as I go along. Why men are losing their testosterone and creating too much estrogen in their bodies. And there's a whole bunch of reasons for it. So I've concluded, and this is very, very simplified, that men need to create more testosterone and women need to have healthy levels of estrogen, because women are way too much into their testosterone as well. There's all these biological curses that are dictating these anomalies that are happening in our bodies. So there's that, and also how this is affecting dating. I mean, this is a big topic to tackle. And in my mind, I kind of got it worked out. Everything's sort of starting to make sense. You know, the more knowledge you have, and then you can cross-reference and critically think, things start making sense. But we're just so influxed with so much crazy knowledge and sound bites and disinformation and real information, and we're just not processing. So I'm coming at this, I'm removing all emotion and judgment. I'm actually trying to come at this with compassion for my own sex and the opposite sex, because I see women do the stupidest things, and I've certainly have made some really ridiculous mistakes because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how my body worked. I didn't know why I'm responding. I didn't know what my hormones were doing. I didn't know. And hormones are things like dopamine and serotonin and oxytocin, I think it's called. I mean, there's many, there's happy hormones, the sad hormones, all those things. And the reason, and actually when I started writing this book, Cupid Not Stupid, and it's really halfway done, I actually put the book down, publicly announced even that I was not going to continue with this book, and people can just turn to their Bibles and get all the wisdom in the Bible. And the reason why I'm picking up the book again and I'm going to finish the book is because I really think this is needed. I think people, again, it's about inspiration. If we start, it's the 100 monkey syndrome. If we start seeing each other question, if we start seeing each other wanting to understand the opposite sex instead of throwing in the towel and, becoming members of groups that really despise the opposite sex, if we can just inspire each other to keep curious and look deeper into what makes us different and perhaps where we've been going wrong with each other. I'm very happy to do that, and I was pretty far from feeling this way some years ago, and I'm growing and I'm understanding who I am more. The more you understand who you are, the better it is to understand other people, and not be so angry or confused or disillusioned. Believe me, we've got a lot more power than we're giving ourselves credit for. We've just been bombarded with a lot of rubbish, and so I have, I'm in the process of interviewing about a dozen men and a dozen women, and it'll be all anonymous, but I'm basically just gathering data and information about how men are feeling at the moment and how women are feeling at the moment. Now, I'm a woman, so I've got a fair idea what they're feeling and going through in the dating world and with men, etc. A lot of it we could be creating ourselves. So, again, I'm not going to be just targeting men or targeting women. I'm actually here to build a bridge and bring some understanding. And it's not just for me to bring this knowledge. If it resonates with people, it's for you to go have a look, go look further. I'm just a catalyst here for this information. Not disinformation, this information. I just have to pause for a moment and then I'll return and finish this. Oh, it won't allow me to pause. I've got a bath running. Actually, I'll just go check on it while I'm talking because I'm on a bit of a flow right now. So I just 1 moment. I'll just turn this off. All the buttons looking good, and my orgonite pyramid is all ready to be switched on because while I'm having a bath, because as we know, self-care is really important for everybody. Okay, so I'll just talk a little bit about the interviews that I'll be conducting that I've lined up. Now, these aren't interviews that will be recorded or put on my YouTube channel or anywhere for that matter. I'm basically, again, just data collecting, and I would really want to come at it very respectfully towards men, get them to open up, and I've got a series of questions to ask. And to see where men's heads are at and how they're feeling. Because, to be honest, a lot of women, we're actually in the state of mind where men are all narcissists, they're either players or users, abusers, and that seems to be the word on the street at the moment. And I think most women that hear this know that's true. So we have completely lost trust for one another, and men really aren't getting an opportunity to speak up. I've got a feeling that there could be just a bunch of complete misunderstandings amongst us. I'm not saying that there aren't psychopaths out there, and I'm not giving, quote unquote toxic men a free pass, but I really want to delve into perhaps how it is that we're creating toxic men, how women are possibly creating toxic men, and if there's ways that we could communicate better, know ourselves better, know how they work and their hormones work to possibly understand them better, and if men could maybe understand us a little better and how our bodies work and all that. So it's a big task. Not a lot of people are talking about it. I personally think it's one of the most important things that we need to be talking about right now, and giving men a voice as well. And that's what I'm going to be tackling. So this is a labour of love. My skincare business, which by the way is called Kings and Queens Organic and Natural Skincare made in Australia. Again, I was inspired by just the word kings and queens, which is what we are. We are kings and queens, and somehow we've lost our way. We need a bridge. We need to find each other again. And this isn't just for singles. There's no denying people are in relationships and are completely lost, constantly arguing, fighting, hating each other and still living in the same home. So, a big task, but I'm on it, and I'm going to enjoy the process. And like I said, I'm going to try to come out at it with no judgment and just as much compassion as I can, regardless of what I've been through or what I think I've been through. All right, I'm signing out. Thanks for listening.